Hello.
Mute. There we go.
Share my screen.
Got somebody in the waiting room. Would you like me to admit?
Who's it?
Louise Branch.
Sure.
All right, so now you gotta start behaving. Or I'll just wait a minute.
Hello. I admitted.
Okay.
So you can still see my face separate from the screen?
I don't see you on the
Oh, it's because I
point. You gotta put that back on or not.
have to update the setting for when I shared. Let's see.
Oh, now you do it differently.
The wrong setting. I can just change it. There we go. I could tell the girls to join. Jenna's joining. Hi, Jenna.
Hello.
I can use yours to see the people.
Okay. Does that help?
Mhm.
Okay.
To make sure that isn't coming up. Hi, Janaya.
Hi.
I like the
Our
background.
little balloons.
Thank you.
Rebecca. Party.
I
Hi,
can
Rebecca.
focus on admitting people
Okay.
today, so don't worry about that. I'll admit people.
Okay.
Mr. Branch, congratulations. You are the first agency partner on the call.
I would like to make sure that you all know that that's my agency.
Yay.
You're welcome.
Yay.
If you're speaking, we can't hear you because you're muted, but just wanted to say thank you for being the first one.
Yeah, and I said thank you for the link.
There we go. Now I can hear you. Everybody has cool backgrounds.
Not me. I have a wall.
I think we can give it till 12:05 maybe. See who else joins.
Maybe.
Yeah, I know we have a couple more that said they're going to be joining, so
Okay,
give them a few
good.
minutes to make sure they can turn on Microsoft Teams correctly.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm sorry, I guess we're gonna need pen and pencil, right? I mean, paper, right?
If you want, yeah, you can take some notes, and afterwards I'll be sending an email that has a notes page attached to it with everything we talk about and then some other resources.
Links to research.
Oh, you're muted again.
Mhm.
Oh, is Liz here?
She is.
Hi, Liz.
Hey, Jennifer's in the office with me.
Okay.
Awesome.
Hi to both of you. Like we need some elevator music.
Okay, so that's a piece for future. We're gonna have like some waiting room music. Okay.
Mm. Is it rainy over in Brunswick, Liz?
It was a little this morning, but we delivered some school pantry bags and the sun was shining. So let's see, what's
Nice.
it doing? It's overcast now, but no rain.
It's been raining here.
Yeah.
Siéntate aquí, mira, dime la sí. Déjame agarrar una. Tráeme una soda o algo porque tengo hambre, la mera verdad.
Hi,
Hey, Miss
Karina.
Karina.
Hi. How are you doing? Oh, you're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can.
Okay, I'm sorry, my mic was muted.
It's okay.
We're doing good.
It's good.
Are they there? Yeah, they're here.
Just waiting on some more people to join. No idea.
I'm gonna open this so we can take notes.
We're gonna give it like one more minute and then we'll go ahead and get started. Give people some time. Okay, do you want to go ahead and start?
Oh, I'm starting?
Well, no, I just,
Yes,
is it good?
Yep.
Okay.
you go right ahead.
Okay, well, thank you guys for coming today. I thought this quote was sweet, since it is fall time. And it says, "The seeds of kindness you plant today will yield a bountiful harvest tomorrow." And I want to thank you for coming for our first agency exchange quarterly call with all of our partners. I want to start with introductions. So I can go ahead and introduce myself. My name's Sarah Howes, and I'm interning with Second Harvest this semester in the programs department. And I'm about to finish up my degree at Georgia Southern. And that's a little bit about me. So I'll let Elizabeth go next.
Okay. I'm Elizabeth, Director of Programs here at Second Harvest, and we are excited to have this opportunity to offer this and hope that you find it beneficial so that it can continue to be something that we do in the future.
Next up,
Who do you want?
they can pick.
Oh, okay, she wants y'all to pick who goes next.
I can go. Hi. You know who I am, but I'm Denia Smith. I serve as one of your agency relations coordinators out of the Savannah office.
I'll go next. Oh, sorry, no.
I'm Jenna. I am the other agency relations coordinator out of the Savannah office. And thank you for joining.
Go ahead, Rebecca.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Crawford. I am new to the team. I'm the programs coordinator. I'm excited to be here and to meet all of you guys and hopefully work with you guys in the future. I will pass it to Liz.
Hi, I'm Liz. I'm the programs coordinator in the Southeast branch, so I'm in Brunswick.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Floyd, and I'm the director of the Southeast branch here in Brunswick, Georgia. And thank you for being here with us today.
And now if our two agencies want to introduce themselves, you can say your name, what county you're from, and what organization you're representing.
I'm Karina Flores. I'm with Southeast Georgia Communities Project in Lyons, Georgia. And this is our director, Andrea. Good morning, or good afternoon.
Nice
And,
to meet both of you.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Pastor Blunt. My agency is on the east side, Christ United Pentecostal Church.
Nice to have you. Thank you both for joining. Okay, so we're going to start out with our little agenda here. I'm going to pass it to Elizabeth to cover our first point about looking back and moving forward.
Awesome. So can you all hear me? Just give me a thumbs up. Okay, perfect. Because like Sarah and I are beside each other, so I'm not using my mic. I'm using her mic. Just wanted to make sure. Again, thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us. We are ecstatic to have you all here on our first agency exchange. The purpose of this, the time that we have invested into this, is all for your benefit. That is what we are here for, is to serve you. So we hope that you find this beneficial. We hope that those who maybe weren't able to join today find it beneficial so that we can continue them. If they are not, then we'll stop. I mean, that's what we're here for, is for you. So just wanted to kind of give you a quick update. As you know, Our fiscal year begins October 1 and runs through September the 30th. So we just began our new fiscal year for 2025. And I wanted to just share a little bit with you on the success that we had last year. Obviously, you are aware that both our Brunswick Southeast branch and our branch here in Savannah handled 2 drastic moves into new facilities. And that greatly increased our capacity and ability to service you better. So both, if you have not had an opportunity to get to your branch to view the new facilities, we encourage you. We love having you stop by, giving you a quick tour. We want you to be as proud of these facilities as we are. So please feel free to stop by, come see us. We are here for you. Secondly, I just wanted to give you kind of a quick update. So for fiscal year 24 that ended in the end of September, we were able to distribute over 20.5 million meals through you, our agency partners, and through our programs. So in our 21 county region, we were able to get over 20.5 million meals out to our community, to those in need. I think that is absolutely phenomenal. That equates to over 24.5 million pounds of food that was able to be distributed to those in need. And that is what we're here for. It's not the number. The number is not what we're here for. It's the people who have been impacted. It's the families who've had one less burden to worry about, especially during these last couple of months, the devastation that we have seen locally. So knowing that we can be a shining light, you can be a shining light in your communities and feeding those people who need it. It just goes to the heart of what we are all here for. Whether we are here as a paid employee, whether we are an unpaid intern, thank you, Sarah, or whether we are volunteers that are the boots on the ground serving our communities. We value and all understand the mission because we all in some capacity are serving the same mission. So know that we as a team are collectively trying to engage and grow what we are able to offer and do. And we are looking to you to do the same. We are not asking you to go out there unequipped or with no support. We are here to support you. And this is just one of those ways that we are trying to support you in meeting that need that we know is ever growing. So we will have a lot more content, a lot more conversations, opportunities coming up in the future. But our focus this year is really on that relationship piece. This is not a transactional relationship. We don't want it to be that. We want this to be a beneficial relationship for you and us. That is the goal of our agency relations coordinators, Denia, Jenna, Liz. They are here to be your support. Call them, email them. They will be reaching out to you. We want you to know that we are here to support you. And it is more than just a come get food, distribute food. We want to be here to support you. So I know I'm kind of reiterating that. I don't know what else, but we do have other opportunities and things in the pipeline coming down. So just be on the lookout for that. And I just look for increased engagement and participation amongst my team here and your organizations. So I look forward to what the future holds because I think there's some exciting things coming. With that, Sarah, I will hand it back over to you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. So as Elizabeth said, I'm interning here, and this is actually the only quarterly call I'll be here for. So I was given the opportunity to lead it, and I thought that it would be beneficial for our agencies to talk about fundraising, to talk about strategies, what's worked, what hasn't, and just give some resources relating to fundraising for you guys. So we're gonna start by looking at how we talk about fundraising. So I titled it Flipping the Script because when we're talking about our goals and fundraisers, we really want to use people-oriented language. But the first thing that comes to our mind when we talk about fundraising is money and dollar amounts. So we kind of have to switch how we think about that. And we need to try, if we can, to give a goal related to people rather than just an amount of money. And people are more willing to give when they believe in the mission that the organization has, but they also see that they can make a tangible difference. So when we express what that difference is with how we talk about our fundraising, that is how people are more willing to give and they can see the actual purpose in giving. So some examples that I have on here is instead of saying just support our food drive, you can say provide meals to families in need, or help us provide meals to families in need. And also a really big tip that I've found valuable when I've done many different types of fundraising, either for mission trips or organizations I've worked with or ministries I've worked with, giving people numbers that they can make sense of and examples that are tangible is a lot more beneficial. So instead of giving a huge number like we need to raise $1,000 for our feeding program, it would be really helpful to say, help us feed 100 families this Christmas season, and a donation of $10 supports one family. So this is much like $10 compared to 1,000 is much more easy to digest for people. So if I only have $10 to give, I might not give if I see that the end goal is 1,000 or even a larger number, because most people, their mindset is that a small, tiny gift or small amount to a huge goal is not really going to change much. But when they know that that gift of $10 can support a whole family, they're much more willing to give. And I like this method of breaking it down from the end goal into individually how that money is being allocated. Because the smaller that the end goal is, the more manageable this method makes it sound to your donors, because it takes 4 digits of 1,000 and turns that into only 3 digits. And then it can turn 3 digits into 2. And so it can just make it much more accessible and digestible for the people that you are asking to give and to donate. So there's that. And another thing that I kept reading, it just kept saying to remember that people are the ones giving to people. And so when you relate it to their fellow humans, it makes it much more, pulls at the heartstrings, but it makes them much more willing to give, and it helps them see the need that's at hand. So are there any questions before I move on from that section? Okay. And I also wanted to talk about using donor-centric language, which just means using words that are focused on the person that's giving and including them in it. So people want to be part of something that's bigger than themselves. I think we all do, and I think that's why we're all kind of in the positions that we're in. And so the language that we use needs to involve those people. So saying things like you plus we, our, and together. So that makes them feel part of something, part of the community that is affecting the change that you're focusing on. And really just trying to make sure that your donors know that you value them and that they're having a profound impact, because they are. I know a lot of times I've given to causes and then I never hear back from the people, but it's when I see the updates being posted and I see the final product or a final goal being met and how they use those funds. When I am told about that and I'm involved in that process, it really makes me value that organization even more, but also want to continue to support that organization, whether it be with time, money, sharing my story, anything to do with that. So some other examples that I provided for this portion would be, instead of saying Harvest Food Pantry fed 100 children facing hunger this month, which that's good because it's people focused. It's talking about the children that were helped. Instead of saying that, you can say to your, when you post on Facebook or you send out a thank you email or a thank you card, any thank you things or anything that's updating your donors, you can say you helped feed 100 children facing hunger in your community this month, which is a much more personal wording and a much more personal feel to that if I were to receive a card or email or see a social media post with that on it. And so another example, it says, we met our fundraising goal of $1,000 here at Harvest Food Pantry, where we support those facing hunger in our community. Now, that's great. And it's awesome that the goal was met. But if I, as a person who gives my time and money to an organization, sees that, I don't feel very involved. And it makes me feel like they get all the credit almost. And it's like we're the ones who, the funding and all of that is what caused the goal to be met in the first place. So a good way to reword that would be, you enabled us to meet our fundraising goal of $1,000 this Christmas. Thank you for your generous support of those facing hunger in our community. So that truly places the thanks on your donors and your people that are supporting you. So that's very helpful, because as we all know, funding is, aside from volunteers, funding is the lifeline of a nonprofit. And it really is what limits and enables the things that we do with nonprofits. So are there any questions before I move forward from this portion? Okay. And I also want to talk about the structure of how we talk about our fundraising and just how we word and how we carry out a fundraising effort. So we need to be sure to include a goal, a timeline, and how people can give. Those are the three main points. And also what your fundraiser is. That's always crucial to include, so people know what's going on, they know what they're giving. And I think a really big tip that I would give from my own experience, but also from what I've read online, is really just be simple and be concise. If you open an email that's 4 paragraphs long, you're probably going to skim it. You might not even read it. You're probably going to ignore it. That's what I would do. Or if you see a social media post that's over 4 paragraphs long, you're not going to want to sit and read through the whole thing, especially not with how chaotic social media is lately anyways. So just being simple and concise and making sure that people know what's going on and also how to give to your cause. So an example that I put that kind of encapsulates everything, and it could, I guess, be used as a template if you needed it. But I'm providing other resources that include templates for either emails or cards or posts, anything like that. But it says, this holiday season, the Harvest Food Pantry is raising support to feed 100 families facing hunger. A donation of $10 will feed one family, and our goal is to have the funds raised by December 15th. You can give online at the link below. Thank you for all your support in our hunger relief efforts thus far. So that hits all the key points. It says what you're doing. You're feeding families during the holiday season. It gives an end goal of feeding 100 families. and it tells people how to give, that they would give $10, and then it also has a deadline. It's by December 15th is that when you're wanting those funds to be raised. And so if someone had this in an email or a post or anything, they could refer back to it, and it would be very helpful. Another tip I would say is remembering to clarify what forms of donation are accepted, because there's so many ways to give nowadays. So I put some examples on there. So, if you're accepting only checks and cash, you could easily say a check made out to the Harvest Food Bank or cash brought to our office are both accepted. Or if you do have online options, you can say go to our website at this link to give online, or send your donation to @Harvest Food Pantry on Venmo. If you use any of those forms of online payment, that would be a very helpful way to put it for your people that you're posting to or sending messages to. I will say, make sure that you are giving updates throughout your fundraising period to your donors. So whether that be announcing at church during the announcements, we are 60% of the way to our goal. Remember, this is how you can support, and this is what the fundraiser is, just reminding them. Or if it's in an email or a social media post or a text, anything like that, just remember to give constant updates. And also, when you give those updates, make sure you thank the people who have already given to you, and also include an encouraging message to encourage those who haven't give to consider. I know that a lot of people tend to be more inclined to give if they hear someone is 80% of the way to their funding goal, or they only need $100 more for their fundraiser. Many people are willing to give if you provide those updates and you encourage them in that way. And I also would say, with the structure of a fundraiser, I would always start by having a nice to look at either flyer or graphic to use online. Make sure your flyer or your graphic has all the information that you need on it, so that they can see easily how, like we said, the three main things: how to give, the goal, and the timeline and the deadline. So that's always good. And when you have a deadline, it helps people, look at, if budget is an issue, they need to consult their budget to see if they can give. They can look at where would be a good time to reconsider or to look at their budget, things like that. And for the online graphic, if you need help with creating that or you need information on that, there will be a link in the notes that are provided from this to Canva, and you can use things like Word. You can do something simple on Word, anything like that. Whatever you need to create a flyer or a graphic for an email. And we have resources on that available to you as our partners, and that we can connect you with later after this call. And also, for any churches that are here or anyone watching after the recording gets posted, utilize your church bulletin, or if you're just a faith-based organization, whatever form of communication you use during your meeting times throughout the week, make sure to utilize that. I know a lot of faith-based organizations will have bulletin boards. Make sure you're taking advantage of the bulletin board, and updating your people on how they can give. So that's always a good, helpful tip. And I know when we posted our survey asking who had questions and things, a lot of people asked with help on where to start. And another question was just fun and easy ideas. So on the next slide, I have 4 fundraising ideas that are all tailored to feeding programs, whether you are a pantry, or you're a soup kitchen, or a congregate feeding location, or even a backpack program. All of these can be tailored to that. So of these 4, the first one is, I titled it Skip a Meal and Share a Meal. So in this fundraiser, you can encourage the people that you want to participate to donate the money that they would spend on a meal. And instead of having that meal, you skip it and you donate that money to the food pantry in honor of those who are suffering from hunger and facing hunger. Or you could even encourage them to fast for a whole day and donate the cost of 3 meals or whatever donation they would like to pay. This can be done without social media. It can be done in person, or if you are using social media, you could have a little small group online and share about your experiences during it, or there could be a hashtag and you can encourage people to give that way. Another example I have on here is Fund the Need, or you could call it Fill the Pantry. Or if you have any other type of program, you can tailor it to the title to be whatever you want, really. But in this fundraiser, you would have a poster or an online sign up with the most needed items in your pantry. And along with each item, you would have a cost of what it would take to get however many units of that item. So if it's a case of corn, like canned corn, you would have a cost and how many cases that cost would purchase. And then you would have a sign up spot beside that, and someone would sign up to donate that much money in order to purchase those cases of corn. So another like an example I put on here for just wording purposes, you would be able to say $5 will like enable us to buy, or will provide us with the funds to purchase, or supply us with the ability. You can word it however you'd like. But basically, as long as you're communicating that much money will enable you to purchase, for example, 10 pounds of apples, that would be a very good way to word that. And then another example is Dine Out for Hunger. So this doesn't technically have to be dining out for hunger, but this example would be a percentage night with a local restaurant or a local establishment. So all you have to do is contact a local restaurant or establishment, and you would say, "Hi, I'm with this organization. I support this many people in our community." And then you would be able to ask them if they would consider donating a certain percentage of their funds from a certain time period of one day to your organization. So for example, Chick-fil-A, it's very common that they would do it from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. 10% of the proceeds from that time period will be donated to the Harvest Food Pantry. It can be done at any establishment, really. It doesn't have to even be a restaurant, but if you wanted to call it Dine Out for Hunger, you could do it that way. And then also I know that coffee shops are willing to do it a lot of the time if you have a local coffee shop. And then the last one I have is Baskets of Blessings, or you could call it Fill a Basket. So you can just have people sponsor a food box or a bag or a holiday themed. If you have a backpack program, you could do a holiday themed backpack program, like bag. You can tailor it to whatever you need, but you would just have people sponsor one of those boxes or bags. And so you would give the cost of that, and people would donate, $50 for 5 bags, something like that, depending on the cost. And you could have people give online, or you could even have people give in person. So those were the 4 examples I shared on there. But there's also the classic examples of a walkathon, a bake sale, just things like that. And then I know, let me see, for youth groups, I know for any churches watching either after or now, for youth groups, there's a fun example called Change Wars. And so you would have the boys versus the girls, or you could do the middle school versus the high school, and there would be a designated bucket, and you would call it the Change Wars. The boys would donate to the boys bucket, and they would put change, any coins in there. And so that would count to their total. and then the girls would do the same, but they could also donate to the opposite bucket in the form of paper money, so any bills, and that would take away from that team's total. So that's just a fun example with the teens to get them involved. And honestly, for bigger organizations, like you can contact your local schools. They would be interested in doing fundraisers. Typically, I've done stuff with beta clubs and National Honor Societies. Some schools that have uniforms, they will do like $1 to dress down on Friday this week, and it will all the proceeds will go to this organization. So just things like that. Super simple, not many upfront costs, but they can definitely help your organization get that funding that you might need. Give me 1 second.
One thing she didn't mention, and maybe she will mention a little bit later on, is also different auctions. You can reach out to local businesses in your community, and you can try and get donations in terms of items, physical, or also just coupons or gift certificates that you could put on auction websites that are free. There's one called Bidding Owl that has a really low or almost a no cost to run an auction on their website.
Yes, and also you can do ticketed dinners, like simple, like a spaghetti dinner, or any meal, but the classic example in the South is the spaghetti dinner. You can do ticketed dinners, you can do like ticketed event, or even if you don't want to sell the tickets, if you need, instead of like just raising money, the optional donation when you come into the event could be canned goods or whatever your pantry needs the most. I know at a local church back in my town, they do a fall festival, and an optional like entry fee, I guess, is a donation of canned goods rather than money. So it's technically a free event with like an optional donation, but most people tend to be willing to give in that way. I did want to also, like Jenna did, if anyone else has any ideas that they would like to share or any questions about these ideas possibly, I would like to open the floor to hear from you guys about fundraising ideas.
So let me ask this.
Let me mute myself and then you can use your mic.
Oh.
That
Okay. Let me ask this really quick. Of our partner agencies who are here, what do you currently do for fundraising? Just give us share some examples and some ideas of what you currently do.
Go. Some of the things that Southeast Georgia Communities Project does is we collect items to raffle, and you'd be surprised what we can come up with to raffle and how much money we raise on things like that. Especially if women get around to seeing the Michael Kors purse that was donated, or the Tupperware, or things like that women love. We recently went through a fundraiser to replace our roof, and under 2 months we raised $26,000. We thought it was going to be a challenge. We thought it was going to be impossible for us to do something like that, but it happened. We were very pleased, and a lot of that money, well, I'd say not a lot of it, I'd say about a third of that money came from raffles. And we were pretty, surprised at the outcome and how people, as your intern was speaking, she said some things that we were like, wow, just flipping the words of how you say things and how you request or how you beg for money. People really, really do buy into that. They really do. Instead of saying, we need $26,000 for the roof, finding other ways to share that. And we were even lucky enough to have some local farmers appreciate the fact that we do so much work with with the farm worker communities who came forward and said, you know what, I'll donate. And Ms. Flores had the experience of one of them saying, you know what, I'm going to call my buddy and he's going to match my donation, So it was like a challenge, that really turned out to be a great thing for us.
That's so awesome. Yeah, I know with raffling baskets, you can go to your local like vet offices or pet related things, and you can have like a free grooming certificate. Sometimes people will offer those. You could go to car washes. That's a really common one. I've had a friend who goes and asks every year for a free car wash voucher for a basket that my friends raffle off. My mom has put together UGA themed baskets. I don't know what team you root for, but it could be sports related, things like that. And those are really helpful. And like you said, with the roof and $26,000 is a lot of money. You could even do like an example when you break down the numbers, like one brick, if not roof, obviously, but like for a different example, one brick cost this much to sponsor, or 1 square foot, or like 1 square foot of our roof is $20. That would help someone be more inclined to understand this is how my donation is going to be used and is going to actually benefit the organization. So thank you so much for sharing.
And to kind of fall into line with the request of items, if you think of like some bigger organizations, such as sports teams, they also have links on their website where you can submit a request for your events or for your fundraisers, and they will send you an item at no cost.
Awesome.
Yeah, a lot of times you don't know until you ask. And with some of it, the worst thing that can happen is getting told no, and you just move on.
I think that in our area, and because we've been in existence for so long, getting people involved in actually coming in and seeing our operation and catching us off guard and actually seeing us in action, that helps a lot because, you can go out and tell people what you do all day long, but until they actually see you in action, then they learn to appreciate and they learn to want to share, to be a part of what you're doing. We have a lot of support for our monthly mobile food pantries. We have a lot of support for that. We have people that actually call us and say, look, I want to come and help you. We want to come and be part of the distribution, and just tell us what time to be there or what we need to bring or whatever. And, so it's not just about, if you let people know what your goal is, what your mission is for the community, they're going to come together and even bring their friends along, because we've seen it happen all along, and it really helps us a lot.
Yeah. I had a question. It left my brain. For anyone who has anyone seen like an uptick in their giving from people, or have you seen a decline in that lately?
We've seen it going up
Mm-hmm.
in our agency, in our area. We've seen better response from the community, not just for money, for items. More people are donating to our agency, items that we can pass on to somebody in need. And even during this hurricane, we were really blessed because we had a lot of nice donations coming in, so we could help other people. And that was really a plus for us. When people start to see that you're actually doing good and who you're doing it with.
Yeah.
And, and it always helps to mention, because we've had people ask us, where do y'all get all that food from? And we'll tell them, well, we buy it from the Second Harvest Food Bank in Savannah. And they're like, wow, that's that's awesome, you know. We didn't know you could do that, you know.
Yeah.
So when you educate, then they will in turn answer to your, you know, to your need better, because they'll know that you're not just out there asking for money because you want to, you know, it's time to get your hair done or you want to go get your nails done or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
It's because your mission has been to help, and because you have a good track record of helping, you know, they don't mind donating when we ask
Yeah.
for it.
Let me ask a question. I don't know which agency partners on the call currently have a social media platform, but for those who maybe don't have a social media, and even if you do, and forgive me, I had to step away for a phone call, and you may have just talked about this, but what other avenues other than social media are there available? You know, if you do some of these fundraising events that Sarah kind of described, you know, run an ad in the local paper. Let people know that you're doing this. How many times have you sent out a letter to your neighbors, to your local businesses, asking for support, sharing with them your stats from the past month or year? Here's what we've been able to do. However, we know we could do so much more with the support of community members, whether it be needing volunteers or a financial support. But I know a lot of people say, well, I don't do social media. Well, that's not the end all be all. Yes, social media is great, but there's still print papers. They're still putting flyers at the grocery stores, on the community boards, putting it in the bulletin at the local churches. Again, sharing it in mailing out a letter requesting sponsorship or support. So there's definitely more than one avenue or area to focus on when it comes to fundraising.
I think just a simple little pamphlet. Andrea put something together that we give out every day when people come to get food here at the food bank. They have a little slip of maybe a half sheet that just, or if it's full sheet, sometimes when we're really busy. This is what's going on, you know.
What's happening?
What's happening today, and it lists what's going on during the week, you know,
during the month.
during the month, and also asking people to visit, check us out on Facebook, like us on Facebook, stay on there and check, you know, don't, if you have a question, bring it to us. I mean, don't hesitate.
Or a concern, or a concern.
Or a concern, yes, because we have, you know, we don't want anybody to walk away with a question. We want everybody to be, you know, satisfied with what they're getting. And we like to take, you know, pats on the backs, but we'll take complaints also, because
Yeah.
we're not perfect, you know. But just making sure that people, you know, are aware of what's going on, you know.
And that we're not going to shy them away if they have something to criticize or something to complain about. We want to, you know, handle the matter. We want to deal with the issue, and we want to move forward. Because I believe that a lot of people are scared that, oh, well, if I say something, they're not going to serve me anymore in this agency. Or no, that's not the way we operate. Another thing too is talking about, you know, putting out that little flyer. I've estimated over almost 1,300 flyers a month when I'm putting out something important for the community. And this goes out to all the people that come to our food drives, because our food drives, you know, serve over 300 families, you know, an estimated almost 15,000 individuals eat from that food. You know, and the people here at our agency, you know, we're estimated at about between 100 to 120 people that are served weekly. So, you know, you've got a big amount of people that you're reaching, you know, and this is not just those folks that come, but those folks make it, you know. We always tell them, let your friends know what's going on, you know, share it with the neighbor, share it with your friend, you know, and that makes a big difference, because we have callers every day that say, you know, well, I didn't know about y'all. We've been here 30 years almost, but we didn't know about y'all. And, you know, we want to know what we need to get services. you know, and we'll explain to them, you know, the lady that's taking our calls, you know, we'll tell them, you know, what they need and how they can come here, and they can come here once a month to get food, you know. So it got out, the word got out just by the little flyers that we're putting out. So it's not just the social media. It's very important still to use paper, you know, and type up what you're doing so people will know, because some folks don't deal with social media. And I'm talking about clientele. Our elderly community, they struggle a lot with social media. So they're not the ones getting out there on Facebook, and, you know, a lot of them will teach them how to get on, but we can't do it to everybody.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, that has worked for us. You know, that's worked for us.
Yeah, and I will say, we did have some questions submitted to that survey that was initially shared along with the advertisement for this call. And we had a few people ask about helping them getting started, so I hope this has been helpful in that way. But we also had some questions about limitations. One of the questions was about limitations that we as Second Harvest place on our agencies, and there is not one for fundraising. You can fundraise in any way you see fit. We encourage that. We don't place a limitation on that. So whoever asked that question, that's your answer for that. But also we had some questions on limitations as nonprofits, but we do not have limitations on you from our end. And also, as long as you are using the funds properly and for your organization and for your mission, you do not have a limit on that. The specific question involved t-shirts. You are able to do a t-shirt fundraiser as a nonprofit. I'm linking in the notes page some t-shirt design on like websites that you can use that are super simple, and the ordering is really easy, but like that's allowed as a nonprofit to answer that question. But yeah, we do not place limitations at Second Harvest on you guys. So I just wanted to make that clear before we moved on. But were there any other questions or comments that would help us understand anything or would help your fellow agencies understand anything?
I think one of the things that just brought to mind, and now that you're saying that, is that it's important for us, you know, me and Ms. Flores sometimes feel like allowing families to come here once a month to get their food baskets might be limiting our families to additional food that they might need. But we hold a resource, like a little resource booklet that says, you know, this is where you can go if you run out and you don't have the means to continue, you know, to get, because if we continue or we provide food for people weekly, we wouldn't be open the days that we're open during the month. We serve too many people here out of this agency to be able to do more than 1 month. So I hope that we are staying in the right path with American Second Harvest, because you guys do a lot for us. You guys, you know, provide us, you know, a lot of extra stuff when we order our foods. And I can tell y'all, it does not go bad. We put it in people's homes, you know, that will come and get this food, and it is being distributed equally among people. Nobody walks away without complete meals. And that's one of the great things that we hear from our clients, you know, that they love coming here because we assure that we have, you know, meat, bread, you know, canned goods, you know, staples, you know, things that can can create full meals at home. You know, we're not sending them off with 100, you know, yogurts, or we're not sending them home with, you know, just cookies, you know, that, you know, folks like, and those are some of the things that keep us going and keep us aware of what the community is thinking. You know, they love coming here because they know they can walk away with complete meals, and that means a lot to us.
And before anyone else shared, I did want to ask our agencies who joined later if you could introduce yourself. All you have to do is say who you are and what county you're in and what organization you're representing.
You may just want to call them out.
Yeah. You'd have to unmute your mic for us to hear.
Hi, I'm Cora White. I'm from the city of David. We have the Elijah Food Bank in Bullitt County.
Thank you for joining.
Gina Sanders.
Miss Janice?
Yes, Janice Sanders from St. Thomas Baptist Church. We're located in Lone County, Georgia.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Jessica Garcia.
And Jessica?
Hey everyone, I'm the new assistant director at the Bryan County United Way of the Coastal Empire.
Okay.
Yeah, I know Elizabeth, we used to work together at United.
Thank you for joining.
And I'm not sure who maintenance is.
And someone joined under the name Maintenance. I'm not sure who that would be.
I'm AJ with the Hinesville Housing Authority in Liberty County.
Okay, nice to meet you.
Is there anybody else?
I think that's everybody. If not, hop in. But anybody who hasn't shared, if you have anything, you can go ahead now. If not, we had one more thing we wanted to share with you guys relating to fundraising. I'll be brief and there'll be more information in the notes page, but Giving Tuesday is coming up and it is a global fundraiser day. A day of generosity is what they call it. And the goal is just to get people to do good. And it's the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. So you have Thanksgiving, which, everyone's eating great food, very thankful, but then you go straight into Black Friday and Cyber Monday for Amazon. So it's all about getting your money and getting things for yourself. So Giving Tuesday kind of sparked out of that and wanting to change it from an attitude of getting to an attitude of giving. And all you have to do to register there is just use the hashtag and advertise it. There's no registration. It's open to any nonprofit or charity or church or anything. So we wanted to make you guys aware of that because it's a really great opportunity for you to fundraise or to even get new volunteers and to have people share their stories about whether it's your volunteers sharing how much they love your organization or if it's the neighbors that you're helping sharing their story. It's a really good opportunity. Last year, they raised over $3 billion on that day. Over $3 billion were given to people to help their causes. So it's a really awesome opportunity. And there'll be a toolkit and a bunch of things linked in the notes page that I have. Here's some of their logos that you can use either on a flyer or handout or social media. And with that, I would like to thank everyone for joining. There will be a survey that I can put in the chat right now. Let's see. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And I can go here. Let's see. Okay. Okay, and if you click that link, you can fill out that survey, and it's very basic, just to get more information about these calls and moving forward with hopefully continuing the agency exchange. The next one will be in February, and the topic and the date will be released in the days to come. And then along with that, there will be an email that will be sent to all of our agencies, including you guys, with a link to the recording of this if you want to, rewind it and refer back to anything. And the PowerPoint slides and a bunch of other resources, all linked in that email. So you'll be able to access this call at any point and refer back to anything. And I just wanted to say another thank you to everyone who attended. Obviously, this is our first one and my first time leading it. So I hope that it was helpful in some way. And I hope that it's encouraging to see the faces of fellow agencies that are serving in our goal to help end hunger right alongside you on the ground every day. So thank you. I'm going to hang out in the lobby, I guess you could call it. I'm going to hang out until everyone's gone. So if you have any questions or further comments, you can let me know. But Thank you again. And Elizabeth's gonna say something.
Just really quick, I know your time is very valuable. I do want to, give kudos to Sarah, our intern, for putting this together. She has invested a lot of time and research. And I can almost guarantee that in February, when she is not here and we are having to do it, it will not be near as nice. So just, she set the bar up high and we're gonna try our best to reach it. So, thank you, Sarah, for a great job.
Yeah.
All right. I appreciate you all. Please feel free to reach out to us and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you don't have any further questions, you can go ahead and log off. But if you do, you can unmute yourself and ask whatever questions you may have.
Okay, I sure can. All right.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and end the call.